We interrupt this studio session to bring you a message. Welcome to Hood Orchestra Podcast, episode 7. Our last episode was 6 months ago. Many of y'all may have seen it with Chris Tate. And today we're here with the Kahlil Martin, Kahlil B. Martin, if some of y'all have social media.
B stands for B. What's
Really?
up, man?
How's it going?
Man, I'm blessed. Let me put my laptop away.
Right, working all the time, never stop.
I don't actually. I'm always on my laptop. Man, but how are you doing though, man? What's the word?
I'm great. I'm glad to be back in Houston. Always never left Houston, but I'm glad to be back in the studio, making music, working, just doing the thing.
Is there like another project coming up?
Yeah, I got a couple projects coming out. The follow through that was supposed to drop. I was originally supposed to get that out by January, but
It's March.
right, and it's crazy. The theme is about following through with what you say you're gonna
and
do,
you're not following through.
Right, it's hilarious how that works.
Yeah,
but
I do have a question for you though, man. This is completely off topic, but right now, what is the hardest challenge for you right now? And what you going like? Just business, life, whatever.
the hardest challenge is probably being able to visualize things so vividly in my head of what the vision looks like, and even being so close to it, but not yet having necessarily the capacity to enact it. And knowing that it's going to take a little bit of time, but it's like a lot of times we want things like
Now,
on it. Yeah.
Nah, for real, bro. You know what? It's so crazy you said that. I feel like I'm in the same boat. Like, just building whatever I'm building too. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you see it, and it's like you can just touch it. It's almost right there. You can just put your hands out, but it's like there's still so much more work that goes involved with doing it. I actually talked to one of my good mentors the other day. He was just basically like, man, like, you be consistent, you put your head down, you do the work, and like compound interest is like one of the 8 wonders of the world. So it may seem like the pace is slow, but you may succeed with another blow.
Right. Yeah. Even just slowing down with the music, like just making sure I have the business of the music as much as the music. Like I started out with such good music, but now it's like it's time to bring in the good business with the good music to be able to get the music to the masses. And it's like a lot of people, they don't understand. They might have like a hit and stuff, but it's like you got to be able to make sure you protect that legacy for whenever it does, go crazy.
Yeah, so when it comes to like that, how did you like learn that? Like, is there examples you've seen or like?
Just experiencing it for me, like with just, I'd say being in the music industry, the biggest example I saw was just like dropping music and looking at the stream count and seeing that the stream count was like 1 million or 1 billion, and then it's like the monetary count wasn't as high. And I was like, okay, this math isn't really mathing. And that's when I really started like learning about the math behind the music, because it's a lot of things and a lot of like industries we might think that, oh, your input should be equal to the output. But in our industries, it's like the input and output may look completely different and may look different one day, and it can change in an instant, or it can go crazy in an instant. And it's really like the stock market has never looked, day to day normal, because it's just things change. But yeah, just being amidst that in real time has just been crazy.
Yeah, so when you think about the foundation you're trying to set, what do you feel like you're missing?
I'm not really missing anything but like the time, or not necessarily the time, but like the work and the reps. It's like, I know if I sat down in front of a computer for like a whole week straight, not doing anything besides like posting the content and chopping up the music and all that stuff, it's like I could be where I needed to be. But it's like life doesn't work like that. You know, I've had a lot of good success these first couple months, but it's like life has also lifed a lot these first couple months, and it's like you don't necessarily just factor that in to what you like your roadmap. It's like you see a roadmap and you see the vision, but it's like the random stuff, that the random positive stuff. Like me doing the Super Bowl was a random positive thing that I didn't really think would happen, but happened like a week beforehand. It's like you're just working it, and all of a sudden it's like, boom, here's a lob or something like that.
It's almost like, you know, the guy be just throwing you lobs at the right time. I think that's kind of like life, though, ain't it?
Yeah, for sure. To see how much you work and you want it.
For you, like, give me a story, like when it was a real test to see how bad you wanted it, and it actually turned out to be.
Time that I wanted it. I feel like every step like I'm taking right now in my career wise with like the violin and even doing things like outside of the box, I feel like that's like taking like an uncomfortable type of leap, because it's like I think that there's not an actual path in what I'm doing. So it's like, I don't know if I step one time and it could be like, oh, this is a hole I'm stepping into, like, or an unwritten rule of the game or something, when it's like, I'm like playing the violin to music with no words, and it's like, yeah, kind of weird.
So you compare that to being like, I had this analogy of, like I say, sometimes it feels like I'm walking in a maze, but there's no lights, but you can only see a few steps ahead of you. And so you're kind of forced to just like trust your judgment. And sometimes you run into a wall. Sometimes you can run and sprint down a tunnel. Sometimes you got to go left, right, up, down, you know, whatever. And so that's like the analogy that I would say that I compare it to. Because it's like, there's a blueprint, but there's really no blueprint. And it's like, I think you know you're going your own path when there's not really like a apples to apple blueprint.
Yeah.
It may be like an apple to like a pear blueprint, but like the apple is always going to be an apple.
It's like, I feel like my range of vision is like, I see what's 1 to 2 weeks and focus on what's 1 to 2 weeks ahead of me. And then I focus on 5 to 10 years. But it's like past the 1 to 2 weeks, it's like, I really don't know what goes on, because it's like, I'm in such a space where it's like, you could get that phone call and it's like, oh, come do this, or you want this opportunity to do this crazy thing. And it's like, well, I thought I was, staying home. Like, I thought I was going to be in Houston for the first 3 months of this year. And it's like, I wasn't in Houston. And so it's like, it's wild.
Yeah. You got to take the opportunities though, don't you?
Got to.
Is there ever a time when you like, dang, I want to do this, but I have to turn it down?
What have I turned down? The Beyonce thing.
You turned down Beyonce?
Yeah. I didn't have to sign an NDA for that. So, yeah, the Beyonce, it was Christmas Day. She did Christmas Day, I think, last year. She did Christmas Day, and it was crazy. We had a Hood Orchestra, I think it was a masterclass. It was a Hood Orchestra violin masterclass. It was the one that, it's crazy. 2 people end up coming to that masterclass. But it was basically Christmas Day. Beyonce had strings that played with her for her halftime performance at the Texans game. They had reached out to me and they were like, would you be interested in doing this? It's like, there were a couple rehearsal days. Like, I was like, yes. However, I have an event with Hood Orchestra. So it's like, stand on your word with Hood Orchestra and like selling the, yeah, right. And so I ended up basically doing it. Not doing the Beyonce thing because I was like, I already committed to this Hood Orchestra date, and it's like,
that was the one on Netflix.
Yeah, she was on Netflix. Yep. So they're talking about, it's Netflix, it's Christmas Day, it's all this exposure opportunity, and I'm like, but I have a date on the calendar.
Yeah. You feel like you made the right decision?
I felt in the moment, I felt like I didn't make the right decision because only 2 people came, but like at almost every concert I've had, I've been able to say that only 2 people came to an event at one point, and it's like now we're doing even more. So it's like it means a bit more, and it's like I saw the principles outside of just business in that moment, where when it came to like staying true to your word and how you might be perceived to a concert. It's like I have to have the same energy with canceling it when there's only 2 people there as I do when it's like 2,000 and it might be like weighing it.
That's good. Dang, standing on business.
How have you been standing on business lately?
How have I been standing on business lately?
And or cultivating?
I would say I have been standing on business. So I spent 3 weeks in Oklahoma, where I woke. My routine this is my routine every single day. I woke up at say 8 a.m. Made me an espresso coffee in an espresso machine. Went for a mile walk or run or whatever. Opened my laptop, did my work. Around certain time, made some lunch. Had calls in the morning, had personal calls later. Then I'll go to the hot tub around like 7 or 8 o'clock. And I'll stay in the hot tub for like 2 hours and just think. And I did that for like 3 weeks straight. But during that time period, there was so much progression in my business because like my only focus for those 3 weeks was like build, outreach, build, outreach, build. Like it was really just a level of focus that being in Houston was hard to come by. I'm a focused person, but you got events to go to.
Right.
You got people that are like, hey, like let's schedule some calls. Then you gotta go, if you go get some food, HEB is a hassle, you know what I'm saying? 30, 40 minutes. And so like, I just recognized all the time I had back in my own control. And I think that allowed me to like clarify some things. So now I've been in Houston for like a week now, back again. And I've been going to events, whatever. But I'm like, man, a lot of this stuff don't really like matter. Like, you've seen the progress in a short time period. And like, I show you stuff all the time. And like, that doesn't happen unless you're like focused.
Right.
So I would say that's how I've been staying on business. So I think the biggest thing you can do is like just focus on your craft, focus on what it is that you want, and then like, bro, tell people no.
Yeah. It's the quiet work. The no's and the quiet work behind the scenes.
Yeah, because I've been told, like with my business, I've been told no multiple times with like different stuff. And every time I'm like, okay, bet, cool. And I keep refining the business. And like now it's really good. And it's like, dang, like I'm about to start telling other people no, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that is like great. But yeah, the quiet work, the no's, and for me, I'm building a system. I'm not just trying to get like Instagram followers. I'm not just trying to create something for the day. I'm trying to create something that like when I give it to somebody and they embed it into their workflow, they like need this to make money. They need this to talk to their people. Like they need this as a part of their system. With doing that, like I'm okay with taking a little time to refine it, but then being able to like 3 months from now, 4 months from now, if you, let's say for instance, Hood Orchestra decides to like use collab for like events, communication, right? Like there's gonna come a point in time when it's like you need collab to stay in business afloat. And if it start messing up, you're gonna be mad at me.
Go.
So it's like, yeah, it's just a different level of like focus now.
Got to be.
Yeah. That's the answer. That's a good question.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I'm actually I need to post that on my social media page. That's good.
Yeah, that's good to hear it because it confirms too. It's like it's like just this last week has been just a reminder. Like we are superheroes, you know. We can just like take some time to step back or like go to the woods, go fishing. It's like last week we went fishing and it was like great. We fished the whole week, but it's like this week I'm like, we need to take a month to go fishing.
Yeah.
Like 1 to 2.
You know, it's like I didn't know I needed it either. Like, bro, I resisted going to Oklahoma for a minute for so bad, like that long time. But like being 3 weeks of just like extreme, like no hustle, no nothing, just like this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
That is like, I think it's so valuable, even for the thoughts that I was able to like think and like, it's like, I don't know, like this stuff was just flowing out of me, you know? Like my ministry or my gift, the same way you may lock in and like play, you know, music or whatever, like my gift is like creating things, but creating like polish. Like I love like branding. I love like creating systems. Like I can wake up in the morning and create like a business from start to finish. By the end of the day, like I'll have how much the product is, what the product is, how it looks, how it feels, the website for it. I can do that like the back of my hand, you know?
Right.
So now it's like, as I'm understanding those skills, it allows me to really create something that like, it's not like a microwave. It's like, it's like a slow cooker. You know what I'm saying?
I'd say, would you say that you've grown more within that whatever like month of period of time than you have like since starting and launching what you do?
I would say from January to, dang, it's so crazy you said that. I would say from like January to now, I've grown so much, but it's because I think from a business perspective, I took myself out of the equation. And in February, I probably did like 40 or 50 calls with different business owners. And I just asked them questions. Like, what do you need help with? What's your flow? How do you do this? How many systems are you using? What accounts do you use? Do you use Eventbrite? You use Instagram? Then you use Gmail? I'm learning everything that they use. And I'm like, oh man, like, I'm solving a problem, but I'm like, it's not even about solving the problem I want to solve. It's about taking all the collective feedback around me and solving other people's problems so well that it's like they have no choice but to say yes. Like they feel dumb for saying no. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so even we talked here just shortly about another platform you use, and you're telling me the things that bothers you about that platform. But like, imagine listening, like if I wanted to build a platform like that, right? I listen to like 30 people that all tell me all the same stuff. Then I come in and make the platform that is excellent at all the things that people don't like. They're gonna be like, duh, why would I not use you? You already solved my problem, you know? So it's like, I think now I'm a lot more selfless with like how I'm solving solutions. And it's like, I realize it's really just like, if I can empower other people to be great, if I can make you better, then I'm always gonna be straight. So that's why I would say the business switch is like, business is about making the people around you better. So if I create a system that allows you to make more money, allows you to make money easier, and takes stress off of you, it's gonna come back vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Same thing with everybody around. So that's really what business is about. Like, it's not even about you. I think that's the most growth that I'm experiencing right now.
Yup. Yeah. I think our final closing thought would be I heard Gary Vee talking about how like in 2026, it's like we're transitioning from like businesses being like entities to like businesses being the individual. And it's like, it's really going to be about how you could like regulate first the human body, and then it's like you regulate systems, and then you regulate systems that help regulate other people's human bodies versus like however way it's been going on, because that hasn't been working.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like it all, like I said, it all started with me going within and just taking time to just be silent and recognizing the things that I actually struggle with. And be like, oh shit, other people struggle with it too. And then like, oh, if I solved it for myself, I can solve it for you.
Right.
And just being honest, you know, with yourself. So yeah, man, that's my closing thought.
Yeah, this has been a great episode. For closing announcement, we do just have a new Hood Orchestra event, and it is called Southern Hospitality. It will be live from the historic El Dorado Ballroom. If you've been on the Hood Orchestra podcast, you probably heard us talk about that at the beginning. So this is, you know, you'll see the vision at the El Dorado Ballroom, Southern Hospitality, on Sunday, June 21st. I'm not even gonna drop the name list yet. We'll roll that out. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in.
Peace. How was that?
Wonderful. That was good.
I feel like I sound